ours, 'cause it doesn't remind me of anything. I like playing in the sand. What's mine is ours, if it doesn't remind me of anything.
And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. Podcast, your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor. Very important, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. Joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? I'm having a fantastic day now. How are you tonight, Scott?
You know, I love going live. I love going live. And that's the funny thing. I was thinking about that today. I was like, oh, I can't do that. We only go live on Tuesday. This is my job. This is it. This is my job. It's not a well-paid job, but this is my job, is to go live, talk crypto, have fun, do all that other good stuff. So I was like, what weekends are irrelevant to me. All right, I'm retired. This is what I do, so just go ahead and do it. Here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about and bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto and welcome to the podcast. And again, thank you. So, yeah, we're not really expecting to pack the room tonight, guys. Look, man, we're gonna be talking some crypto. We're gonna be playing some music. We're gonna be drinking some booze. Here's to the folks who joined us. And I saw your name in there, Monero Dinero, man. I appreciate it, right? It's like drinking joy in a glass. Tonight's show is brought to you by Town Branch Bourbon. Town Branch Bourbon for all of your yummy. If you like a more smoky, smooth kind of bourbon, Town Branch, highly recommend it. $80 to $100 a bottle, depending on wherever you can find it. And I drink way too much of that, Belle. Belle, I drink way too much of that. I mean, I was counting up my dead soldiers over here, and I was like, Jesus, I'm on the road to wiping out Napoleon. With all of the dead soldiers that I have lined up over here. And we're not talking about cans of beer. All right. We're talking about full bottles of bourbon. And it suggests to me that I might be drinking too much. I don't think it's a problem. I don't think it's a problem, but nobody ever does. But yeah, the Town Branch is excellent. Have you ever had Town Branch, Belle?
I have had Town Branch, and it is a very good one. So I'm not, yeah, I mean, send some my way if you really think that you're drinking too much.
You know, we might be able to make that happen. And guys, show note, and I hope somebody in here can give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I added a little bit of off sync. I had to do it through Streamlabs to try to get rid of the latency. Are my words and my lips lining up now? Because that would be wonderful, wonderful feedback, and we'd certainly appreciate hearing from you guys. So what I'm doing here, believe it or not, is trying to be consistent. Trying to be very, very consistent. I was basically at war with Kajira people over on Twitter. And you know what? For what it's worth, Twitter's good for visibility, man, but it's bad for any kind of reasonable, rational discussion. You're just not going to get it. Sumo Kuji, he's a large Kajira holder. He and I have rational discussions all the time. We talk about the pros, cons, all that other stuff. But there's one thing about some of these more vociferous cult-like communities, such as Kajira, is that as soon as you see something that you don't agree with, you call in your mouthpieces. And your mouthpieces will just sit there and yell. I mean, that's it. They will just sit there and yell. They've already made up their mind. They're not here to discuss. They're here to change your mind. And that's it. And I don't react well to that. I like to think I'm open-minded. Pragmatist is kind of how I live. It's how I made my money, and there you go. So I mean, I hate to pull out the big wallet nut, but if you're worth more than me, I'm you know, and I'm not even going to go there. It's just no place to have a discussion. Now, the paradigm of crypto has changed. It changed right in front of you guys. I mean, it literally changed 3, 4, 5 months ago. That was your bull run. That was the repeat of the bull run. And let me tell you why. It pumped on Bitcoin ETF news. That's kind of what pumped it. So there was buy the rumor, sell the news, and everybody did. Now, not on Bitcoin, not for Bitcoin in particular, but for everything else. Market sentiment returned. There's no reason for it to return, but market sentiment returned. Everything took off. Jackal was just shy of $1. That is wildly overvalued. Wildly overvalued. And everything just kind of all took off, and then it all kind of settled down, and we're starting to get back into, I think, what is maybe the right price for some of these assets. But that was your bull run. And this massive, wild influx of dumb capital that you're expecting is not coming. All right? We already did that. We did that twice. We're not going to do it a third time. People came over here, played around, you know, started swimming with the sharks, got smoked, and they're not coming back. So crypto has to evolve. I'm sorry, let me be real clear here. Crypto is never going to evolve. Crypto is meme coin. Crypto is Bitcoin. Crypto is things that only go up and down as people are buying and selling them. And that's never going to change. That's human nature. We all want a lot for a little. We all want to cash out at the top. We all want to do those things. But those things have already happened. So the next evolution of crypto is going to be applying blockchain technology. So there's a reason that I was in DeepIn. There's a reason that Bell's in DeepIn. Now, I'm not even going to come up here and say that even these DeepIn assets are not overvalued, because based on the amount of volume that they're doing, meaning transactions on their network, not transactions, but using the network for the purpose that the network was intended, they're still overvalued. But I see them as having a whole hell of a lot more potential because they can do multiple things. Most of these products, things over here in the cosmos, things in crypto are very, very binary. They do one thing. They only do one thing, whether it be a tool or whether it be an exchange to swap tokens or whatever. But what they do is one thing, and they literally cannot evolve because they're already doing what they were designed to do. When I look at DeepIn, ask me, do people need data storage? Do people value privacy? Do people like lower costs? Do they like all these things? See, I see this and I say, yes, I work in the industry. I am very well aware of the value and booming nature of this particular industry. I'm not alone. Microsoft is right there with me. Amazon is right there with me. Experian, all of these guys, they're right there with me. They're building out because they need servers, they need data storage, they need all of these things. And I just want to be anywhere involved that has a piece of that market because they can do multiple things. And when I say they can do multiple things, I mean that they can store object data. They can do, doesn't matter. I'm not going to get into the weeds on this. I'm just saying that the paradigm has changed, and if you don't change with it, you are going to be absolutely left in the dust. You're going to be holding on to something that you're just waiting for the magical internet money to pour back in, and then you're going to be rich, and everything's going to be cool. And you're dead wrong. You are 100% wrong, and you have already mostly round-tripped your bags, but you're going to round-trip them all the way because what you're doing is done everywhere. And you're not evolving, even though the very nature of it is. So, that's anyway. That's my answer. That's my whole retort. I don't want to type out paragraphs on this stuff, and I like to do this live. I love to do all of these things live, particularly any kind of discussions like this live, because when you're doing it on the internet or on Twitter or on anything else, they have anybody you're discussing things with has something called Google right there at their fingertip. So whether they can answer you or not, they can simply type the question into Google, get an answer, find one that they most closely identify with, and then they plagiarize it a little bit, paste it in, and now they sound hyper intelligent. So I don't like to do these things on the internet. I don't argue on the internet. I like to do it live. I like to do it. So when I ask you a question, I see your eyes go down and I hear the typing, I'm like, okay, you're just Googling it up. I want to do it live. I want to do it face to face. Let's do this if we're going to have these kind of discussions. So, as much as I enjoy agitating that community, I don't know. I don't know, Belle, if I'm done with it or not. You know, we need eyes on us right now. We need a lot of eyes on us because we're releasing an app. We're releasing an app that has had all of the Web3 completely stripped out of it. So I want people to use the app. That's really where it comes down to, is that I'm chasing customers. I'm not chasing investors. So we have to do that. Anyway, guys, we'll be back. Like I said, we're mixing it up tonight. All right. We're playing some songs. We're drinking some booze. And we're just talking a little bit about crypto. I want people to have to cherry pick a video to find one specific thing that I may have said about them or not about them or about their project or whatever. And meanwhile, I want them to go ahead and sort through some music. So if you guys could, we're taking our very first musical break right now. I'm going with, I got to pick the first one. I'm going with Bartholomew by The Silent Comedy. Hope you guys enjoy. If I can get it up there. Hope you guys enjoy.
Oh my God, please help me, knee deep in the river trying to get clean. He says wash your hands, get out the stains, but you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Yeah, you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Saying, come on. Oh my God, please help me, waist deep in the river, can you hear my plea? He says, son, you come like a beggar in the street, you might make it, boy, but by the skin of your teeth. You might make it, boy, but by the skin of your teeth. Saying, I rebel with the worst of them, fell in love with the Harlequin, saw the darkest hearts of men, and I saw myself staring back again, and I saw myself staring back again. Oh my God, please help me, neck deep in the river, screaming for relief. He says it's mine to give, but it's yours to choose. You're gonna sink or swim, you're gonna learn the truth. No matter what you do, you're gonna learn the truth.
Singing.
Hit the bread that once was sown, but from a cliff never broke a bone. I gotta get the kings on the throne, and I'm all alone, and the fire grows, and I'm all alone, and the fire grows.
Ladies and gentlemen, I did not hit pause on that video. I'm sorry, man. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I have to manually flip Belle's window. She wants to listen to the songs. I don't have my voice meter running, so I have to, I got to change it out and flip her over to shared screen, shared sound over Zoom so that she can actually listen to the song. So we're going to be off a little bit. Belle, do we got anything, or can I just kind of carry on here? This is just a fun night. Let's just have some fun.
We've got a few comments and questions, believe it or not. So
all right, because I got a lot to get to. So okay.
First comment coming in from Mad Scientist regarding the dead soldiers. Just check your liver enzymes.
You know, I would. I should. I don't exercise. I eat like shit. I'm drinking heavily at night, not during the day. I'm not that level of alcoholic yet, but I'm on my way. Sure, I'll get the check. Get the check. And it'd be funny because it took me my whole life to make a whole lot of money, and now that I have it, that'd be the perfect time to just drop dead, right? If I'm gonna go right here on this stream. You'll just see my eyes roll back, and I'm gonna grab my chest. And Scott's having a stroke. Another stroke. Yes, that's gonna be it. Yeah, you know what? Die with your boots on, man. These are my boots. Belle, carry on.
Yeah, you know what? If you did that, that would be breaking the rules we have set. And no, your permission to keel over, especially on this stream, has been permanently revoked.
Come on, you gotta admit, guys, back me up here, all right? And the more you chat, the more more likely it is YouTube will show this video to anybody else. You gotta admit, that's kind of poetic. I mean, we've dedicated how many years and years and years doing this, so to die on the stream, that would be poetic. I mean, that's the way to go out. Anyway, carry on, please.
Monero Dinero, I do think the spot ETF launch will bring some attention to the space once it starts trading here soon.
I agree with you. It will, but it's going to pump it'll maybe surge Ethereum a little bit, but not really that much. I actually think that Ethereum is probably just about right priced right now, and we already saw what happened with Bitcoin. All right, it got its percentage pump, and then it just flattened out. Everybody's waiting for something else, and honestly, I think the something else, Bitcoin's always going to be Bitcoin, man. I hold it because it's just there's opportunity in it. You could get a few percentage points, but the whole ethos, it's new money, it's going to change the world. I don't believe any of that stuff, man. If I did, if we did, then there would be no ETFs. There just wouldn't, because you basically invited the real sharks into this world, and they're extracting liquidity from this world. Welcome to crypto. I think it'll move Ethereum a little bit. That it'll be, people will buy the news. Buy the rumor, and when it actually comes up, you get a little bit of pump. People are looking for the top. They're going to dump it. It'll be settled right back where it is. But I in no way see it suddenly all the money surging out to the altcoin. What are they going to do? Buy Comdex? Oh my God, that's what we've been waiting for this whole time. Belle is a tool. So no, I don't really see it that way, but I wish everybody luck. Misunderstand me about this. I don't want to, I don't wish anybody any ill, man, but I'm not going to sell out my principles either. If I believe it, I'm going to say it, and it applies strictly to me. If I'm wrong, I didn't make a lot of money and everybody else did. But if I'm right, I made a lot of money and nobody else did. I can't live with that. I don't need that. I don't need any more. I'm good. All right, I'm good. So if I can make some fantastic, if I can't, you know what? Like I said, if I'm wrong, everybody gets rich and I get nailed. Or I'm sorry, everybody else gets rich and I just didn't get richer. So that's kind of where I'm leaving it there, but I'm going to give you my opinion. Belle, carry on.
Monero Dinero, Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index sitting at extreme fear at 30, and Bitcoin is still 61K. This has to say something, no?
You would think, there's no, I used to be concerned about pissing people off. Now I don't care, man. I mean, I piss people off endlessly. Bitcoin is the brand name. Bitcoin is the brand name. It's known the world over, but it is still merely a speculative asset. It is only worth what somebody will give you for it. So even though he's, Bitcoin's worth $1 million, try to get somebody to give you $1 million for a single Bitcoin. You're not going to get it. All right. And the market never, ever, ever gets it wrong. That seems to be one of the another crypto fallacy. Well, the market just didn't get it right. Nope. The market gets it right every single time. It never misses. You were wrong. You missed, but the market didn't. So again, while I appreciate that, and I want to try to explore it as much as anybody else. But if I truly thought Bitcoin was going to $300,000, I wouldn't own anything but Bitcoin. Period. That's it. But I don't. And I think that the evolution of crypto, the flag went up, the flare went up. Everybody, okay, we got to start changing our minds here, changing the way that we view this. And we're really not. We're really not. We did. Bell and I did. We're ahead. I think we're ahead of the curve, and we're going to stay way ahead of the curve. First mover advantage, and I have funds, so we can spend what we need to spend to make sure that we stay in front of everybody else. But until you actually change up your mindset, then this is we're just going to kind of sit here. I'm going to show you a thing here. This is actually, I think it's funny. That little button right there, you see that one right there? This is actually what started everything. This is what actually started our entire movement and what me and Bell and our team were trying to do as far as abstracting away. This is I don't even know if you can see that. You see the text? If you push that little button right there, it goes from lowercase to uppercase. That's it. That's all it does. It goes from lowercase to uppercase. Not exactly, setting the world on fire with that, but as soon as we our guys made that, and it took him all of an hour, but as soon as he made it, I realized, okay, they can make apps. And as soon as I realized that they can make apps, that's where we started going to work and started to figure out, okay, now what apps? How do we do it? How do we abstract away the Web3? How do we make this palatable for people who really have no interest in crypto? How do we do all of these things? And there it is. And that's why there's a little app on my phone right now called Aegis. And we'll release it. We'll release it whenever the hell we want to release it. Right now, that's kind of where we're at. But I want to just, we want to put it in the hands, friends, family, get feedback, put a coat of paint on it, and then we'll do the mass release. But for right now, this is the way that crypto's going to be. This is the way that blockchain. I gotta stop with the whole crypto and blockchain thing. This is the way blockchain is going to be. This is the evolution of all of this, is mobile apps, user-facing apps, abstracting away Web3. This is the future. I'm 100% right. I'm early, but I'm right. And that's really kind of what's important to us. All right, Bell, one more, and then we got a song, and then I got to get to AMP. I got to get to Kajir. I got to get to all this stuff.
Charles Wayne Beats, Omniflix Pump.
Yeah, and you know what? We've been fans for a long time. Bell and I actually work with them. They have an enterprise kind of solution thing coming out, and we're going to be all on board with this one. They set us up. We already have an instance running. We're using their servers. They're paying the money for it, so we think it's awesome. But Omniflix, who continues to kind of just be as an afterthought. They're one of the chains over here on Cosmos. There's maybe 2 or 3 or 4 good ones, but they're one of the chains that is doing it absolutely correct in that they are going after customers. They're not going after investors. If you want to invest in them, that's on you. But at no real point do you have to own cryptocurrency or even a wallet to use their product. So they are actively and aggressively going after consumers, and that's the right thing. This is Omniflix TV, guys, right here. Anybody can use this anytime. Works on the phone, works. They don't have an app yet. I wish they would. But this is it, Omniflix TV. So it's clear that they're more or less kind of a maybe a YouTube clone. There's lots of these things out here. Now they have the additional element of NFT platforms, marketplaces, all that other good stuff, and it is kind of cool. But what they do real well is video hosting. That is basically what they do very, very well. So if you come over here to that little button right there that says the podcast. By the way, Bell, send them a note. They broke our icons again. We used to have icons up there of who we are and what we are. But if you click that thing, then it's actually going to take you over to the podcast channel. This is our channel over here on Omniflix. And it works. It works a treat. And you come over. Well, right now, of course, I'm going to lag because I'm using so much of my internet on other things right now. But You can pop right over here. You can watch videos. You can interact. You have interactions, NFT platforms, all that other good stuff. I don't really care so much about the NFTs. I like Fight. I like Fight Farm, but I don't really care about too many of the other ones. This does this, and that's another goddamn bug I want to tell them about. It hangs up, ladies. The first time that you click on it. Let me turn the audio off. But this is it. So they're literally going after consumers. It's the right thing to do. It's the right place to do it. So they're ahead. They were really, really early. That token, I don't consider it a particularly good investment, but I like the product itself. I think it's fantastic, and it's nice. I'm wearing the same T-shirt because I've been doing this all day. Flix is one that I always keep my eye on. It's near and dear to my heart. I'm not a terribly heavy investor in it. I think that they have an awful lot of potential if they can get some of these creators on board. That's the problem, man. It's just nobody's there, nobody cares. All right, Bell, that was the last question. We'll get to the rest of them if we have any more. I want to come back, and we're going to be talking about the AMP, and I'm going to be talking about the Spend app again because I need to be consistent with this. But the next song coming out of the gate is brought to you by your very own podcast producer, Bella. She picked this one. So we're going to bring you guys a little bit of Hailstorm. If there's any particular song you want to hear, put it in the chat. I guarantee you that we'll play it. But until then, we will be right back, guys, and enjoy Hailstorm.
I want your disease. I want your everything as long as it's free. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. I want your drama, the touch of your hand. I want your leather studded kiss in the sand. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. You know that I want you. And you know that I need you. I want it bad, a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your longing's revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your design, 'cause you're a criminal as long as you're mine. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. I want your psycho, your vertical stick. Want you in my room when your baby is sick. I want your love. Love, love, love. I want your love. You know that I want you. And you know that I need you. I want it bad, a bad romance. I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. I want your love and all your love is revenge. You and me could write a bad romance. Your love and I want your revenge. I want your love. I don't wanna be friends. Je t'en amour et je veux ton revenge. Je t'en amour. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, mad scientists, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I needed like something that was like 10 seconds long to transition so I could unfreeze Belle's frame and get her back on. It works. You know what? Power bottom. Go power bottom. You guys, and it's still funny. For all of my talk about memes and all this other stuff like that, but we effectively built one. But it's meme in name only. In reality, it's actually a pretty solid project, and we're going to show you that too. So anyway, I do want to get back to Belle. Are you back with us? Did the transition work?
Yeah, the transition worked. At least I hope it did.
Okay, trying something new. On Stream Deck, I could set up a multifunction key. I just didn't do it. We came up with this like 10 minutes ago and said, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. And yeah, here we are. And Fox, thank you. It is nice to try things new, man. Everything's static. Everything over here is crypto is static. And that's why so many of these cultist jerk-offs are just going to get buried. They're going to get buried under their own hubris because two things are weighing against you right now. One, you don't realize there's a problem. And that's number one. But number two, with the entire social media aspect and exposure, you can never, ever publicly admit you were wrong. That's a problem. I mean, it's a two for big ass problems that are weighing up there against you. So, yeah, let me talk about AMP here for just a minute. And by the way, guys, the Juno is a T-shirt is a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale that no matter how right things are going for you, if you don't actually do what you're supposed to do or do anything or just get ran by a bunch of kids who have no actual business development, that don't understand what business is. I'm looking right at you. God, I forget the guy's name. I've been arguing with him all day. I forget his name. I understand, crypto is purely all about the narrative and business fundamentals don't apply. But you see, they kind of do. They kind of do, and you're experiencing it yourself. So it's just amazing that you could see something like that, be experiencing it, and still just, no, doesn't matter. Everything's different over here because it's crypto, and I'm old, and I just don't get it. Guys, I lived through the .com. I've seen this shit. I was here before there was an internet. So as much as I appreciate your viewpoint, I'm going to fall back on my own experience on this one and just go ahead and do what I want to do. Anyway. In an effort to be consistent, I believe that abstracted Web3 apps, that is the new thing. That is where you're going to want to go. That's where you're going to want to be looking to. Find out who they are utilizing and find out where they're going or where they're actually being built. That is going to be the money shot going forward here over the next 12 to 18 months. That is where you're going to want to be. That's where I am. So we're fine. Now, granted, it's a little bit different for us because we can just keep building apps till we get one that's a hit. We can just keep cranking them out. We got capital and we can pay our guys and we can just keep going. And we can make 10 of them, but we only need one to work. That's it. And that's the tech way. Didn't work. Okay, pivot, try something else and try something else. And we can just keep going. So we're confident in this. But I'm rolling back to something that actually caught me very, very early in crypto was AMP, Flexing Network. I was a big fan back in the day. They did what we're talking about now, and they did it years ago, and that is abstracting away the Web3. Now, in this case, I'm talking specifically about the Spend app. That is literally the only thing that they have. Out of this thing that's still sitting at a $250 to $300 million market cap, the only thing that they actually have over there is the Spend app. And it's not a bad app. Now, it's a problem because it's a black hole kind of, it's a gift card. I mean, everybody, Tyler, all those guys, they came from the gift card world. So it would make sense that they would create something that is effectively a gift card, and they did. The problem is that they abandoned it. They got away from it. They didn't actually improve it. They didn't turn it into some kind of crypto wallet, and I don't believe that it was ever intended to be that. It was always intended to be a gift card, but a digital gift card, but it wasn't bad. And they got in very early. They were literally first movers on this, was the Spend app, meaning being able to spend crypto at brick and mortar places. And that's the other big problem, by the way, Bell, is that they started focusing on brick and mortar as brick and mortar is dying. So yeah, they kind of missed on that one, and I can back up my point that brick and mortar is dying. When's the last time you guys went to Sears? Anybody? Anybody? Was the last time you went to? Oh, you didn't? Yeah, because this is gone. So they never actually pivoted over their model. Now the app itself is not bad. Problem with it is that you still need to learn how to use crypto to use it. So as opposed to integrating something like Cato, where you can literally use a credit card to load up your little spend wallet and go out there and go to business. They never really did any of those things. They just kind of released it. It was a flop, and they never actually went back to it. And it is the one good thing that they do. So as opposed to doing that, they came up with Alphabet Soup or whatever the hell company. What are they now, Belle? Because they've pivoted like 2 or 3 times. Acronym Foundation. Is that it? Is that what it is? Is it Acronym Foundation?
I can't even keep track anymore.
Well, if somebody knows, go ahead and type it over there into the chat. But I think it's Acronym Foundation. What they did is they're doing everything completely ass backwards. So they abstracted away crypto more or less, and made a kind of decent consumer-facing app, but they pointed it towards brick and mortar instead of online, which was their very first problem because they didn't have the foresight. And this is while it's collapsing. That's the funny thing. This is while brick and mortar was more or less collapsing, but they didn't have the foresight to kind of pivot off on that and say, okay, we're going to get it so that you can use it for mobile, internet shopping, which is what people do now. But instead of actually making that better, focusing on that, going out getting customers instead of investors, they went even further and formed something called Ampera. And then that fizzled out because it was a year plus, and they did effectively nothing, absolutely nothing. So then they came up and created the Acronym Foundation. They launched the another token on that called Anvil, purely a governance token, pure airdrop, 1-for-1 of AMP. It makes no sense to me, but until you look at it financially, and then you're like, okay, well, they kind of had to do that, not because the token is necessary, but because they had to do something, and that in fact was a something. But instead of them continuing on and building up and enhancing a good product, they decided to pivot off and make just a whole bunch of bad products, which we think. We don't know because they haven't actually released anything. These guys are famous for promising bridges and delivering nothing, because up till now, aside from the spend app, they haven't delivered anything. But again, in an effort to be consistent, because I believe that this is the future of blockchain technology, is consumer-facing apps with Web3 abstracted away. They did do it, and they literally had first mover. Now, I went and did a little bit of looking today, Belle. I wanted to see what else you could actually do with this and who else was doing it. And it turns out it's virtually everywhere. It is everywhere now. I found not less than 10 separate, basically Visa debit cards that I could load crypto on and go out and use it anywhere Visa is accepted, which is everywhere. I have one. I loaded it up. I tried to use it online. It worked just fine. They didn't care. The money went to the merchant, and I received my products. So what they were trying to do, they didn't stick with, and now a first mover advantage is gone, and virtually everybody is doing this now. Secret Network has one. Secret Network, Finacash. I thought that was really, really interesting because I would love to endorse and embrace Cosmos products. But then I went and looked at it. Then I went and looked at the way that you guys were doing this. So instead of making something very, very simple that I load it up, I use it, I have privacy and anonymity, and you charge me a couple of percentage points. Instead of doing that, you made up a whole token to wrap around it. So for me to load up that card, I have to stake Fina, which is a token that I have absolutely no interest in, because when I put $2,000 on a card, when I come back to it 9 months later, I want to make sure that there's $2,000 on that card. I can't guarantee it the way that you guys are doing it. Now, I didn't take it all the way apart. I will. I haven't yet. If it seems like there's some there, I'll certainly tell you guys all about it. Right now, from my top-down 30,000-foot cursory glance, it's niche, and it will stay niche. But they are just one of hundreds of these things. These guys, another really interesting one, Satoshi Tango. You've probably never heard of them. They're Latin America. They're not really here. They're Latin America. But they are completely mobile-based. and they have abstracted away. They have completely abstracted away. It's almost a central exchange. Now, I haven't taken it apart either. I haven't looked to see if I'm maintaining custody of those tokens, if I have to create a wallet. I haven't done all of these things. But this is 5 minutes of investigating to see who is actually moving in this direction. And these guys are actually moving in this direction. But the other neat thing that they offered was, let me see, it was on here somewhere. But they actually offer a Visa debit card. Same thing. Take your money from the app, load it onto your Visa debit card, and spend it, physical card, anywhere that Visa is accepted. And I don't know if you guys have done a lot of shopping lately, but Visa is accepted in a lot of locations. It's effectively everywhere. So the idea of using crypto and spending crypto, it's not only here, it's blooming. I'm not going to say that it's thriving, but it's blooming, and they're doing it the right way. They're taking out the Web3 element. They're offering products to people that are with that they're familiar with. And off they go. Highly competitive. I'm not going to say that these things are going to boom, but I'm just going to say that their method and thought process is correct. Also, the way I see it. Okay. Anyway, we got more to get to. I wanted to touch base on that. Bell, questions, comments, concerns.
Next comment coming in from Mad Scientist. Need to play Steve Miller Fly Like an Eagle because time is slipping to get into the right projects like Kudos, Astrovault, Providence Hash, and Jackal.
All right, I'll put it up, brother. Cheap Trick is coming up next. Come on, Cheap Trick. All right, Cheap Trick. That's coming up next. After that, we will get to the Steve Miller. Bell, please carry on.
Mad Scientist again regarding the last song. Imagine couples roller skating and the DJ plays Caught in a Bad Romance.
Yeah, it's funny that you went there, dude. It's that you went to roller skating. I had no idea how old you are, Mad Scientist, but I got a hunch you and I existed at a young age together. So I got a hunch that we were kind of in the ballpark. Anyway, carry on, Mel.
Last comment for the moment coming in from G Torres. I'm loving this new format.
D, are you enjoying it? See, that's kind of the thing, guys. Look, man, we're branching out far and wide, man. The thing that we used to do, we're not going to do it anymore. It's boring. It bores me. It bores you. It bores all of us. We stick to it just because we're all a little bit cultist. So I think we got to change it up, man. This is the very first thing that I thought of. Add some entertainment into a crypto stream, man. Play music people that like to hear. Bell and I are huge music people. I'm incredibly eclectic, man. There's virtually nothing that I won't play. And let's just, come on, man. We got to relax, guys. Let's turn it into a show, turn it into a program, turn it into something that you want to tune into, not just to hear what I'm going to yell about, but to, enjoy the camaraderie of everybody else. I gave up chasing big crowds a long time ago, man. I refuse to sell out. But I want you to imagine this, because this is my experience every single time. How many people you got watching right this second, Bell?
We've got a total of 16.
16. Now, I understand that's very, very low for YouTube and for the effort and all that other good stuff, but I want you guys to imagine this, because this is the way that we envision it. You hit a button on your phone and 16 of your friends show up just to bullshit, just to talk about things that, and we all have we all have similar interests, but just to hang out, talk about those interests, bullshit, have some laughs, listen to some music and maybe get some takeaways, maybe hear what the other guy is saying and get some takeaways. That's what we get out of this show. That's why we continue to do this show. I hit go live, 16 of my friends come over, and we just have a good time for an hour and a half, man. I don't see a lot of downside to that, so I'm going to kind of keep it going. All right. A lot more to get to, guys. Tons more to get to. But we want to keep to the format. We're going to talk about something, answer some questions, play a song, talk about something, answer questions, and play a song. And we're going to do that. We're going to actually do that one right now. Now, I'm going back. I am a huge fan of Cheap Trick. I'm not even going to try to backpedal away from that. If you think you're a good band, if you think you hit it, you made it, everybody's there, I want you to go and take yourselves to an old Cheap Trick concert and then watch Cheap Trick. And then you're going to realize that you suck. You suck bad, and you really, really need to practice. So with that, Ladies and gentlemen, Cheap Trick, ain't that a shame? Live from Budokan, and I hope you guys enjoy.
How you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. I was having a chat. Cheap Trick, guys, come on, give it up. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you're about, man. Look, if you're not a Cheap Trick fan, you are simply doing it wrong. What else can you say about it? What else can you really say about it, man? It's fantastic. I was chatting with an associate of mine during that song right there. This guy is next level smart. That's the funny thing, man. He is like beyond everybody else. So let me tell you something that he got into. This wasn't actually his idea, but he gave a big thumbs up to it. He said, yeah, cool. So they're building solar plants, big solar farms out in West Texas, which is a perfect place to build big solar farms, by the way. I don't know if you spend a lot of time out in West Texas, but there's a lot of nothing out there. So it's a wonderful place to do it. A lot of sunshine. Weather events aren't terrible. It kind of works. Now, I was busting his balls on it. I was like, dude, look, alternative energies are simply a loser from a financial standpoint. Now, from a human standpoint, sure, we should embrace alternative energy as much as possible. I'm an all of the above kind of guy, but energy creating electricity, any way you do it is based on destruction. We destroy something to create something else. So the more and more of it that we have, the more and more destruction that we're going to have. It really doesn't matter how you do it, but. It was funny because he was coming into me. He was talking about this $250 million investment in solar. And I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You're never going to get your money back out of that. The guy's like 68 years old. I was like, you're never going to get your money out of that. You'll be dead and gone long before you're profitable. But then he told me about carbon credits, and he explained the carbon credit thing to me, man. Now, this is next level shifty, but obviously, incredibly profitable. So they're paid up front in these carbon credits. So even though it's like a $250 million investment, I should just bring John on. Bell, what do you think? Just bring him on to explain it, because this is terrible. Oh my God, he's got to be listening tonight. John, are you listening tonight? Because damn, dude. You know what? I won't even tell your story. I'll tell you what, we're going to bring you on, John. And I know you ain't doing nothing because you got the bum shoulder now. So we'll bring you on and let him explain it. But the carbon credits and what they're doing with them is next level brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But I'm not going to tell that story. I'll let John. We'll bring him on the stream. John can tell you the story. It'll be fantastic. All right, Belle. Do I want to get into Shay? Do I want to get into Jackal? What do I want to get into, or do we have any questions, comments, or concerns, or observations?
Yeah, the only we've got a couple of observations about the song I picked that you just played, and actually that was my choice this evening, guys. So. All right, so Mad Scientist drop in the comment, cheap trucks on 79th.
Cheap trucks on 79th. Nope. Bell, go.
And then Bradley Coker, also a Cheap Chick fan.
A Cheap Chick fan, sure. Guys, you're talking about one of the most epic live production bands that you're ever going to see in your life. I mean, I'm sorry, man. There's bands, and then there's Cheap Trick, and I'm always going to kind of default on there. I'll tell you what, man. Look, I got Steve Miller queued up. I have The Offspring queued up. I have Divinals. I don't know how to say her name. What's that broad's name? The one she thinks about me and touches herself. What's her name? I forget. I forget, but she's queued up. So we're going to play everything else, and then I want you to think about anything else that we're playing, and then think about the song that you just heard, and reevaluate your life choices. All right? Reevaluate, because Cheap Trick is, I'm sorry, they're absolutely epic. All right, let's get into Jackal a little bit, because this actually goes with what I started this morning with. Jackal is a data storage platform. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Jackal. Marston, the CTO of Jackal, and Marston is like next level, almost borderline autistic smart. I mean, this guy he knows what he's talking about. And we're going to bring him on Thursday so that he can talk about what they actually did with optimism and roll-ups and all these other good stuff. So I'm not going to spoil that or try to gum it up in any way. We'll bring Marston on. He can explain it. But what Jackal is basically, guys, is object storage. Now, is the amount of volume they're doing worthy of their market cap at this time? Probably not. But one of the things with actual investing, meaning not gambling, but actual investing. One of the things that kind of changes this up is the 30,000 foot view, 6 month, 12 month, 18 months out, trying to see if this would be appealing to consumers. Now, whether it be you and me, which is retail consumers, or enterprise consumers, is something like this going to be appealing? And in this case, it absolutely is. With the amount of government overreach and oversight, and basically we have an entire nanny state here that monitors everything you do, everything you think, everything you say. I see a lot of value in something like this. Now, I see particular value in a couple of very, very individual niche communities, meaning like the libertarian community, and then the all the way far left and far right community. I could see them having a lot of value, getting a lot of value out of privacy. And I could see the entire world getting a lot of value out of cost. Now, Jackal, for some reason, this continues to be overlooked. And it doesn't matter how many times I say it, but it continues to be overlooked, is the fact that Jackal will give you 1 terabyte of hot storage for $8 a month right now. When V4 goes in, which the signaling proposal is already up, take a look at it over on the Jackal website. They got a link to it. But when that goes up, their prices are going up. I have long argued that their prices were entirely too cheap, and let me tell you why. And a terabyte of hot storage. Now, what is the difference between hot storage and cold storage? Cold storage is Filecoin. Cold storage is more or less Arweave, Saya, a lot of these other ones. They're wonderful at cold storage. Now, there's nothing wrong with cold storage. These projects are excellent at what they were designed to do. But Jackal's not cold storage. Jackal is hot storage. For you to get a comparable terabyte of backup, and I would love it if somebody over here right now would open up their phone, go to iCloud or whichever you're using as your phone backup, and tell me what a terabyte of storage is going to cost you. Because when V4 comes up, Jackal's prices are going up, but here's a big difference. They're hot storage. Now, the terms that get thrown around in the tech world, and particularly the world that I come from, is ingress and egress. Every single piece of infrastructure has to be paid for, and those costs are always rolled over onto the consumer universally. They are rolled over onto the consumer. So you have something in data storage that's called ingress and egress. That means bandwidth to put the data on to the storage, and egress, which is bandwidth to take the data off of the storage. To get a comparable product to what Jackal is offering right this very second, even before V4, to offering this right this very second, that means Amazon Web Services, Facebook, Microsoft, Apple, Google, anybody. It's going to be approximately $150 per terabyte if you want full-time hot storage, because this is an active data environment, meaning that you are constantly pushing stuff off and pushing stuff on. The world is going cloud. It has been going cloud for a good long time right now, and it shows no signs of slowing. So Jackal is offering you that right this very minute at $8. I have made video after video. I'm not going to illustrate it here, but I've made video after video after video showing that this is in fact hot storage, meaning that it takes me 6 minutes to push up a 1 gigabyte video to it, and it takes me 45 seconds to a minute to get that video back. It's object storage, a gigabyte. For me to get it back that quick, nobody in blockchain has done this yet. Nobody. So the question comes around to, why would they bother? Why would they go through all of this trouble? Because they're privacy advocates, and because your data, your personal data, is your personal property, and it is not anybody's right to be able to see it, manipulate it, take it, buy it, bundle it, sell it. Nobody has the authority to do that. You created it. It belongs to you. Now, if you read your terms of service on whoever you happen to be using as cloud storage, it's going to tell you right away. I can tell you flat out what they're doing with it, because I've worked in this industry before it was a goddamn industry. I grew up in this. And the very first thing that they do when you send it up to them is they copy it. They bundle it up. It's called metadata, and they bundle it up and they set it aside. At no time can you ever fully delete your data, because you don't even know what happened to it. It's not the way with Jackal. Everything that you should be afraid of is actually happening to you, and Jackal is actually a solution for it. But again, these are features of the platform. They're not the reason for the platform. The big reason for the platform is that it is cheap, that it is inexpensive, that the Web3 can be abstracted away and turned into a simple consumer data storage app, almost like Dropbox. But Dropbox with privacy. But Dropbox that's cheaper. Because we did it. It's here. It's right there. Look, there it is. We did it. It's on the phone. In fact, if John's watching right now, John, you have points in this and it didn't cost you shit. So you know what? You're welcome. And when this little app ends up going to half a $1 billion, you're welcome again, sir, because we put our money where our mouth is. But to be able to take all of this data in and understand everything that's going on here and come back and simply say, yeah, but it's a crypto. You're wrong. You are wrong. Next level wrong. And when this thing absolutely sails away, you know why we know it's going to sail away? Because we can put apps, we can build apps that put unique terabytes on it. That's where they make their money. Unique terabytes. So every single user that we get on an app is unique terabytes to Jackal. Unique terabytes is money. You have got to get into a business mindset out here. You've got to change the way that you're thinking. Because right now, what you're doing is hoping people buy the tokens that you own, that they pump your bags, as opposed to building a product that consumers can utilize that grows it organically. You shouldn't be chasing investors. You should be chasing users. Jackal is chasing users. I thought they should have been consumer focused, and they absolutely could have, but they didn't. They went enterprise. That's fine. Left the door open for me, left the door open for Bell. They said, sure, take it. We concede the ground to you. We heard you, and we did. And we took it, and we are releasing. So we're very, very excited about all of this stuff. Now, because this is a crypto channel, I can hear you guys tuning out. Yeah, but how could we make money on it? At this time, you can't, because we're not looking for funding. We're not looking for funding until we have to scale. Until we have so many users that we are forced to scale. That's more hardware, more infrastructure, more devs, more everything. And at that point, my very first phone call goes out to a business associate of mine, and I say, I need this much, and this is why, and this is when you will get your money back. And he'll go, do it. So we are trying to build this in such a way that we can let you guys ride on our coattails. We're not there yet. As soon as we make it profitable, and we're forced to scale, then we can start talking about investments. But until then, I'm not going to put any of the risk on any other human out there. It's my business. It's my risk. And I'm not, until I know for sure, then I'm not going to relay that over to anybody. That's why we're just a little bit different than crypto people. Bell, questions, comments, concerns.
All right, question coming in. With the thousands of crypto, does anyone else do what Jackal does?
There are tons and tons of data storage apps. All right. I'm sorry. There's no mobile apps, not one that I know of. Nobody that's going to get it from your phone onto a decentralized storage network. And even Jackal cannot do that. But guess what? We can do it. Aegis can do it. You're welcome, guys. I'm so excited. What, Bell?
Okay. Since the question was regarding what Jackal does specifically, no one else does hot storage like Jackal does. Everybody else is doing cold storage, and most of them that are out there are doing it through central bridges. So they're having to do it through like Amazon.
Yeah. Filecoin sadly uses a central bridge. Iagon absolutely uses a central bridge. Arweave does not even apologize for using a central bridge. So there's always going to be that moment where your data is fully exposed to crypto bros. Now, I would not want my data exposed to crypto bros, because if there's one thing we know about crypto, it is incredibly trustworthy. So, no, I don't want my data exposed to them. It doesn't really matter how long, even for the briefest of instances. So, yes, there are people that are kind of doing it. Nobody is doing hot storage. Nobody. They can't. They don't have the tech. They weren't built for it. At the time, it was just a neat idea, and they built it a la Filecoin, took it up to $4 or $5 billion market cap, and it's it's monstrous. But you're talking about Arctic storage here, guys. Look, man, it is literally cheaper to use a thumb drive. and then you maintain your sovereignty of your own data. It's literally cheaper, and the average person can get by simply using a thumb drive as opposed to using Filecoin. Honestly, most people can get by using a thumb drive as opposed to using Jackal. Then you can guarantee the sovereignty of your data. But my thought, Bell's thought, is that most people don't want to do that. Most people just want to use cloud as long as it's mobile. And right now, nobody is. We're going to be the first. Bell, carry on.
All right, Julio FX. Scott, your thoughts on Arweave, please.
Arweave is great at what they do. Look, man, I'm not going to come out here and bash competition, dude. Look, there's tons of competition out in the data storage space, but the market is so goddamn big. Do you have any idea how large this is? John, if you're listening, it's $340 billion annually, and it's growing by 16% year over year over year. We cannot keep up with the demand for storage, cloud storage. We can't keep up. We can't build them quick enough. Brother, you build stuff. This is what you do. You are a developer, and you know goddamn good and well that when you have this kind of surge, there is effectively nothing you can do that's going to keep up with it. Demand goes up, supply tries to, but during that time, the price goes up and up and up. It is what it is, and that's what you're seeing right now. And every single new goddamn iPhone that comes out, every single new Android phone, I go both ways, by the way, guys. Thank you very much. That goes out. It increases the demand for the product with a supply that is not able to keep up. For fuck's sake. How can you look at all of this and say, nope, not worth it. Not going to do it. Arweave is great at what they do. Which is they're really, really good at cold storage. Their hot storage element, it's a little bit sketchy, but you're completely exposed if you use any part of that. So if you don't mind sharing your data with the entire world, you don't mind taking a dick pic and making sure Arweave has a copy of it, knock yourself out. But if you truly care about privacy, sovereignty, all that other good stuff, then honestly, man, there's really only one choice here. Guys, we're going to get back. I told you it's going to be a longer stream because we're breaking it up a little bit. We're having some fun. The next song is coming out by request. I believe that it was Mad Scientist that put it out. Steve Miller Band, I have nothing bad to say about them. Hope you guys enjoy.
Slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I wanna fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. I go through the revolution, feed the babies who don't have enough to eat. Shoe the children with no shoes on their feet. House the people living in the street. Oh, there's a solution. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly like an eagle till I'm free. Right through the revolution. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. I want to fly
how you are. You just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. Yeah, John, he just texted me. He said, I'm working in the office and listening to you in the background. Dude, you got 5 points on my blood, sweat, and tears, and it didn't cost you shit. So another round of applause for John. Making the rich richer. That's what we do. Richard, that's what we do here at the podcast. All right, Belle, questions and comments. Let's get ready to close this up. We still got more songs, though, so keep it going.
All right, so Julio FX, isn't Blue Zell doing hot storage?
Blue Zell, I understand that they are. I haven't dug completely into it. Now, there's a really, really neat feature that you can kind of see over here. Let me get it pulled up so you can see it beforehand. You know, I'm not going to get into the whole console view right now. Take a look at their console, take a look at network, and just run it through and see which part of this actually goes straight through to the actual network as opposed to going through any kind of central bridge. So is Blue Zell doing it? Don't know. Let me I'll take it apart. Like I said, there's a lot of people, man. Look, there's 30,000 cryptos out here right now, and there's tons of people doing it. The neat thing about data storage is that there's not enough. I don't care who else is doing it between Blue Zell, Jackal, Saya, Filecoin. There simply isn't enough. You guys have no idea how much data is actually being produced. And when you consider the fact that effectively 90% of the world's data has been produced and created in the last 5 years, as opposed to all of the time before that, I think you could actually see that there's something there. Belle, carry on.
All right, Bud, Scott, will you be using Comdex and Evmos now that it's more secure?
I will not. Look, man, I know people want to love on these things, and I follow Twitter too, man. I see what's going on over there, and everybody's very, very excited about this. Is this going to save Atom? Atom is sitting at about, I don't even know off the top of my head, man. Let's just call it a $2.5-3 billion market cap. Do you think $40 million Comdex is going to save $3 billion Atom? Do you think any of these other ones are really going to do it? It's neat. And they're doing it to generate a narrative because, as people tell me constantly, business fundamentals don't matter in crypto. The only thing that matters is narrative. Now, when the only thing you have to sell is a narrative, then sure, you're absolutely correct. But if you actually have a physical product to sell, something that appeals to consumers, something that will be used and paid for, it's really, really simple, guys. You provide a service, people see value in it, they pay you for the service, and we all make a little bit of money, and consumers are taken care of. I don't understand how this concept is so hard to fathom. I understand. I get it, man. A lot of people are stuck in Atom, dude. You're stuck. All right, you got to make a choice. There eventually you hit this inflection point where you say, is there any actual path out of here for this? Atom had years and years and years to try to get themselves out of this. But the last thing that I saw come out of Atom that had any kind of real legs was, what do you guys think we should do? That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life, that a $3 billion company, or what's supposed to be a company, is turning to the people who own the token and saying, we don't know what to do, guys. What do you think? All right, I've never ran a business where I went and asked people, what do you think I should do? All right, because I have no idea. I've never been in that position before in my entire life. And if you are in that position, you know what? God help you. So is that going to inspire me to go back there and buy Atom? No, man. I own very, very little of it. I don't give a shit about airdrops. Airdrops were last year's narrative, and this year we're just trying to cling on to them. I get it. Saga just dropped again. Let's take a look at Saga, by the way. Let's take a look at how this multi-billion. John, if you're watching, you need to really, really take a look at this, because I'm the guy that kept you out of this shit. There's 3 months of Saga, dropped and peaked at about $7, currently sitting at $1.31 because it does dick. You're talking about a total supply of 1,016,000,000, circulating supply of 96 million, and a market cap of 125 million, but a fully diluted valuation of $1.3 billion. The market cap is shit. The market cap of Saga is literally lower than Osmosis. Osmosis is just another one of those bitter clingers that are going to hold on and ride themselves right into the fucking ground because they caught the car and don't know what to do with it. So I appreciate what Cosmos is trying to do right now, and any positive step is a good step, man. I'm not going to shit all over it. But is it going to make me start to dilute other holdings to jump into this? Absolutely not, man. It's neat for the narrative, but there's no legs to this. Bell, carry on.
All right, next comment coming in from Ralph Spinks. Good evening,
Ralph! Been a while, dude.
Good evening, Scott and Bella. I don't have questions, except that I told you about Aleph Scott about a year ago. Please take a look for us. I'm just here to say thank you for everything, guys.
Yeah, brother. We're like, man, we're happy to help. Even if it's not something that I'm going to invest in, if it's of concern to you, it's of concern to me, and we'll certainly take a look at it. Is that it, Belle? Because that sounds like one of those wrapping up questions kind of thing.
Two song requests have come in. One from Bridgewood. Scott, would you mind playing the track Killing Floor off Slash's new album?
I could take a look at it. What else?
John is actually requesting Don't Fear the Reaper.
God, how old are you? Hang on, man. I have to find the Killing Floor Slash. I'll tell you what. Okay, I see it. Slash featuring Brian Johnson, Killing Floor. Is that the video that we're talking about? So get some confirmation on that. Until we get there, let me see. What do I want to do here? We're gonna throw another one up. Guys, please don't run away or anything like that. We're going to throw up another one. We're going to sort out the last couple. We're going to be done here in exactly 14 minutes. So if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, please get them in. I'm fired up now. The booze is kicked in. I'm ready to go. John, yes, we will absolutely play Blue Oyster Cult. You know what? No, John, I'm not going to play Don't Fear the Reaper. But there is another wonderful Blue Oyster Cult song that does not get enough attention. I'll make sure that's coming up, that you get that one. But before we do there, I have to send this out to a whole lot of Cosmos devs. Yeah, I think you'll appreciate this one, brother. Guys, we're going to be right back. 3 minutes. We give you the Offspring.
My friend's got a girlfriend and he hates that bitch. He tells me every day. He says, man, I really gotta lose my chick in the worst kind of way. She sits on her ass, he works his hands to the bone to give her money every payday. But she wants more dinero just to stay at home. Well, my friend, you gotta say, I won't pay ya, no way. Nah, nah, why don't you get a job? Say no way, yeah, no way. Nah, nah, why don't you get a job? I guess all his money, well, it isn't enough to keep a bill collectors at bay. I guess all his money, well, it isn't enough, 'cause that girl's got expensive taste. I won't pay ya, no way. Nah, nah, why don't you get a job? Say no way, yeah, no way. Nah, nah, why don't you get a job? Well, I guess it ain't easy doing nothing
And at all, you fuck.
But hey, man, free rides just don't come along every day. Let me take it from my other friend now. My friend's got a boyfriend and she hates that dick. She tells me every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kids, welcome to the podcast. Sorry. There's like 15 things that I have to do in between these to make sure that Belle can hear the song. So, Belle, I'm doing all of this for you. I'm adding to my stress level. John, actually, and I'm going to hit up the Blue Oyster Cult, man, because what I need in my life is more cowbell. That's what I really need in my life is more cowbell constantly. And anybody who ever saw that SNL skit with Blue Oyster Cult and Don't Fear the Reaper, dude, I can't play that song without thinking about that, John. So I apologize, but I will bring you some Blue Oyster Cult. Belle, that is, I think that song symbolizes most of the Cosmo steps better than anything that I've ever heard is right there. These are guys that simply don't want to go out and get a job and struggle and beat up and get their asses kicked and actually answer to a boss and have their phone ring at 3 a.m. saying, "Hey, can you take care of this?" So no, I think it's very, very indicative. But Belle, what do you think? I don't want you to leave me out here by myself.
Well, I mean, you're not wrong, and ultimately, that's a mindset that's kind of spreading everywhere. So
Yeah, but see, it buried Cosmos. That's the funny thing, man. All these fucking L1s, there's like 90 L1s out here or something like that. By the way, John, you're not in any of those, dude. You're welcome. There you go, brother. I appreciate it. John. Incredibly wealthy man. He owns fucking airlines. He's a real estate developer. The guy knows business, is what I'm saying. So I have to argue with him endlessly because he constantly just beats the hell out of me saying crypto is not worth a shit. You can't hold it. You can't buy it. You can't eat it. John, hey, look at me. Look at me, John. You can't eat gold either. All right, fucko. All right. Sometimes some things have intrinsic value that you simply can't identify, and it doesn't always have to be about food. So as much as I appreciate having these discussions, it's more fun doing it live when I know you're stuck in the office. Why are you in the office, by the way? What the hell's the matter with you, dude? Most people retire and just sail away at your age, man. But for some reason, you're still out there flying planes. The hell's the matter with you? Belle, do we got anything else, or are we going to play another song and kind of wrap this up?
we don't have any more questions, actually. I will say, are they making Goldschlager anymore? Because I know that used to be made with gold flakes. So
My God.
You
Yeah.
can drink it.
I remember, I'll tell you guys a story because it's fun to tell stories, and that's what Saturday streams are for. It was me, Pickle, and Huey. All right. You don't know. We were out in, all three of us were stationed at Pearl Harbor at the same time at NSGA. We were Naval Security Group Activity Pearl Harbor. So when I was over in Japan, it was NSGD. It was a detachment. But when you're at Pearl, you're the big dog. So we were NSGA, Pearl Harbor. And a bunch of crypto, bunch of spooks, man, all of us. The top secret, the guys, buildings, no windows, barbed wire, Marines at the doors. That's what we did. And for one night, we decided to go out to, God, I can't remember the name of this, Bella. It was a strip bar. I was that young that I still went to strip bars because the girls loved me. They really did. They were all about me. And I just need that kind of confirmation bias in my life. So I was a very, very young man. It was something like Gilda's, I think that was the name of it. And we went out there and they had the Goldschlager girl. So it's funny that you were the one who actually queued this up. So you were the founder of this particular feast, the Goldschlager girl, and she wasn't wearing much, but she had the gunslinger's belt with little shot glasses all around in there instead of bullets, and the holsters were filled with Goldschlager, and we were hitting on the Goldschlager girl because I'm 21 and I think she's really, really into me. And it was like $8 a shot. This was back in 1992. So $8 a shot is you're paying stripper prices. We were happy to do it. Look at her. She's a pretty girl, man. She's pouring us Goldschlager and she's interested in what we have to say. But we drank entirely too much. And then for some reason, we said, okay, let's drive home. This is where the story gets interesting. Huey had a 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass. This is a great big car. It's a huge boat, but it was a convertible. This thing was rusted out. It was a Hawaii car. So, when you shut the door, you hear shit falling down into the door panels. That's a Hawaii car. 1970 Oldsmobile Cutlass convertible. and we were driving back, and it was Admiral Halsey Drive. So anybody who's Navy or has been to Pearl knows Halsey Boulevard. Halsey Boulevard. I'm sorry, it's been a long time, and we got pulled over because we were all hammered, and Huey was driving. Now here's where the story gets a little bit more interesting. We pull up, and you got the rollers going. We're all just like, oh god, we're fucked. I'm a little young E5. What do I know? This is not going to go well. But the police pull up, and they pull Huey out, and Huey gets out, and he sees it, and he starts dancing and discoing because we just came from a strip bar. We're hammered, and he got red and blue flashing lights, so of course it's time to disco. They did not even give him a field sobriety test, man. They just pushed him up there, cuffed him, and moved him to the car. And this is where the story gets interesting. The cop came over to me, and he asked me, I'm sitting in the passenger seat. I'm just sitting there scared to death. I'm like, God, I'm going to lose my rank, man. I don't want to be an E4 again. And he says, can you drive? And I looked at him dead in the eye, and I said, yes, sir, I can drive. Because what I heard is, do you possess the ability to operate a motor vehicle? Which is correct. I do possess that ability. So... This guy says, okay, get this piece of shit out of here. And he was right to say it, because that was a hunk of shit. I slid over to the driver's seat. They have bench seats. If you've ever been in a car that old, they have big-ass bench seats. So I slid over there. I started up. I'm hammered. All right. I am absolutely blitzed. And I hit to drive, and I pull away. And it was the closest I've ever actually been to getting busted. Usually the military people, we wear hash marks. It tells everybody how many years we've served. In the Navy, they're 4 years. For each hash mark is 4 years. John was in the Air Force. I don't know what your guys's are. I think it's like every 8 months you get a hash mark. But we have hash marks, and up until 12 years, meaning you've done 12 years, they're red. But once you go over 12 years, if you have not had a captain's mast or gotten busted for anything, they turn gold. So I actually had gold hash marks all the way up for my 26 years of service. But it's not what you think. It doesn't mean that you served honorably. We call them years of undetected crime, because when I slid over and drove that big-ass 5,000-pound weapon, and I was absolutely hammered from hitting on the Goldschlager girl. By the way, Belle, thanks for bringing this up. And I'm sure glad this is live. You know what I do. When you start bringing up nostalgic pieces, you know what I do, because I usually have a story that's wrapped around them one way or another. And in this case, that is it. So I was that close to absolutely getting busted. They should have cuffed me and stuffed me. It should have been absolutely red stripes, because there's nothing like seeing 6 red stripes on a senior ranking military person, because that means you got nailed well after you should have, or you broke them up just enough that you couldn't have 12 years of pure service. Anyway, Belle, I can feel us kind of losing everybody. Do we have any questions or comments, or can I play John's Blue Oyster Cult song and then we kind of wrap it up?
You can play John's Blue Oyster Cult song.
There's no interest in this. You guys suck to kind of... No, you don't. I appreciate it, man. I don't know if we're going to carry this on. It won't be next weekend. I know we all have plans next weekend, but I enjoy the format. I think it's fun. I enjoyed it. I appreciate you guys sticking around. Now we're going to bring you a very, very unique Blue Oyster Cult song. This song actually showed up in the movie Heavy Metal. So if anybody remembers back to 1980, this song had a very, it was literally one of the featured songs from the cartoon Heavy Metal. And if you haven't seen Heavy Metal, you're a Cosmos dev. That's it, man. This stuff, nothing before 1990 occurred. There was absolutely no history. The entire world was black and white. But this song is very, very meaningful for me, particularly as a veteran, and a veteran who's, you know, every veteran out here has a little bit of PTSD, man. You can't live this life without having it kind of beat you up a little bit. So anyway, don't expect anybody to stick around. Consider this my outro, but we're going to end it with Blue Oyster Cult. Hope you guys enjoy the song. If you've never heard it before, you're welcome. This is one of those that you really kind of got to listen to the words, but if you do, you're going to get some takeaways from that. So we had a wonderful time. I'm going to go eat. It was wonderful, guys. Please enjoy the music. We're out right after this.
You see me now, veteran of 1,000 psychic wars. I've been living on the edge so long, where the winds of limbo roar. And I'm young enough to look at, and far too old to see. All the scars are on the inside. I'm not sure that there's anything left to me. Don't let these shakes go on. It's time we had a break from it. It's time we had to leave. We've been living in the flames. We've been eating up our brains. Oh, please don't let these shakes go on. You ask me why I'm weary, why I can't speak to you. You blame me for my silence, say it's time I changed and grew. But the war's still going on, dear, and there's no end that I know. And I can't say it forever. I can't say if we're ever gonna be free. Don't let these shakes go on. It's time we had a break from it. It's time we had to leave. We've been living in the flames. We've been eating out our brains. Oh, please don't let these shakes go on. You see me now, veteran of 1,000 psychic wars. My energy is spent at last, and my armor is destroyed. I have used up all my weapons, and I'm helpless and bereaved. Wounds are all I'm made of. Did I you say that this is victory? Don't let these shakes go on. It's time we had a break
We appreciate you joining us, guys. Hope you enjoyed the new format. We'll catch you guys next time. We are dropping new videos and podcasts every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And be sure to look for us on Instagram, Twitter, and Parler at ThePodocasts. Also, visit our page at ThePodocasts.com, all one word, for all of our most current content.